Okay, so I'm going to do something else extra. Now, everyone that is interested in the idea of duos and trios, we're going to take it up a step further. Okay? And this is what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying. This is where it really gets spicy. And again, it's only fair if we do things like in this manner, just so everyone gets the same experience. So I already know, I already see the problems with 2v2 and 3v3 going down the line. So first off, me and the mods kind of agreed on this earlier today. If we're gonna do 2v2, actually, 2v2 might be its own thing. So I'm gonna do 3v3 just to put it in the grand scheme of things. 3v3, you are only allowed 3 shinobi cards. All right, stay with me here. You're only allowed 3 shinobi cards. Each person on the team has to be a different weapon. You take your pick on that. So what do we have? We have somebody help me. We got katana. We got hammer. What else?
Well, if you want like a rundown of all the main weapon classes,
Yes, yes.
you have katanas, yo-yos, boards, boxing gloves.
Okay. So there's a reason why I'm saying it. Like, okay, you can choose any one of those. And, they have their line to do that with. Weapon shuffle would be interesting. Give a random weapon and have to work with what you get. Why ban double weapons though? Just curious. Why ban?
Um, to be fair, like before, the whole ENL thing went down, they had that rule because there was a team that went in with all the same type of weapon. Yes, it was two chewing V's and two scrap sabers, but it was still a full team of Type C katanas. They had to implement a rule where you couldn't have the same type class duplicated more than twice.
Greg Keto, I love you for saying that. Oh my god. It was because double motor was busted. Yes, no, okay. So the thing I
Yep.
was gonna adopt
Just
into
like
it, I was
how back in the
wondering,
day.
I was wondering if someone was gonna say that because at least when I entered the the Overwatch space way back when, before I started doing any of this, I heard for the time being, it like one team. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, don't even know. But one example of a high competitive team was 2 tracers on a team and 3 Watsons or yeah, and basically that was
Yeah,
your
what
competitive team.
two Winston, Lucio, and Mercy, if I
Thank you.
recall
Okay,
correctly.
but like basically everyone, in my opinion, like okay, so you don't even really need skill. You just need to be good at that person with the team that you have, and then from there, you just need to be a better team than the other carbon copy cookie cutter team. I'm like, that's stupid. So in my eyes, I'm like, that's great that they got rid of that. So now everyone has to try something different. Like you have to be legitimately good and work as a team with different skill sets. Same thing with how I'm envisioning Ninjala here. Like you can't just run into this going in triple hammers. Because I'll say this right now, for one hell of a time on Ninjala, everyone had the same beef. Iron Noise was too broken. If you're a main of it, I'm sorry. Listen, I heard the stories over and over. You come in, you come in with a team of everyone using Iron Noise hammers or whatever, and then the other team, who probably wasn't as experienced, all got destroyed, zapped like crazy, and then they tried to nerf Iron Noise, and it didn't even make any difference because you have the other person behind you like, hey, I just shocked you, but my other 2 buddies are gonna shock you again, and whatever. They might have implemented different changes way back when. I get it, but you have to understand everyone has gone through the same trouble before. You at one point have gotten attacked by an entire team of the same weapon, and you cannot honestly sit there and tell me that you took it all there with a straight face saying, you know what, this is fine, this is great, because I guarantee you
Uh,
everyone was mad about that particular thing. That's why we're implementing that rule where everyone has to be at least one different weapon to the team, no doubles whatsoever, and at least you can try other things. This will give you the chance to try other things, and who knows, you might even like it then. That's why we're implementing that rule. All Winston meta. Let's see, it was because double motor was busted. Yeah. Mela Yo-Yo types flashback. See, Ariel, hey, welcome to the stream. That's exactly what I'm talking about. If you think Okay, that's another one. Okay, the whole team is mellow, mellow a la mode or whatever, and your other team is katanas. Cool. Guess what? They literally just have to hit one freaking button, and now you're yellow poop. What do you do then? You got no defense. I'm siding with you in that sense that there's no defense to that. You are literally at the mercy of being pounded by donuts. Okay, you got nothing going on over there.
I don't know. I pulled some crazy escapes against against Mellow mode with a katana.
But they nerfed it, so I don't see the issue anymore. All Winston meta. What about draft team match? If you're
we were
thinking about,
kind of mentioning
yeah,
we
if you're
kind of
thinking about
mentioned
that, those players just got mad that Rachel came around the corner and hit the button.
Battle, all I gotta say is team battles, Fort Riverdale, my button.
But see, look, Leon, to answer that question, we can't please everyone. And again, we say this again over and over. It's an experiment. It's not going to be perfect. But in the way that I see it, in the grand scheme of things, rather than having the same complaints over and over of, oh, well, all you need is just 3 hammers and you're going to win. No, I want to see actual effort in the sense that you have to try other weapons to see what suits the team that you have, what is going to work, and what's not going to work. And I don't want to see, like, oh, if they're using that, then I will go ahead and use this and blah, 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 blah. That's the reason why I'm saying this. Hi, boss.
A draft would really work well for this.
Fair. What's up?
Draft.
The draft. Yes. Okay. So, draft. Actually, give me 1 second. Hold on. I'll be right back on this.
Pretty sure a unique meta all its own would come out if a draft was involved.
I mean, it would definitely encourage players to find a way around the usual meta and then make something else to counter it.
I can't use Prime on my phone. Oh man, I'm sorry. Okay.
Or just identify something that your opponents are very strong in and ban that.
Yes. Okay. So, we mentioned the draft. We mentioned it briefly. I don't have a problem with it. I was asking for a reasoning. Oh no, I get you. Just I'm heated in thinking the idea is that if we actually do this together, again, community effort, we all pat ourselves on the back because we did something first before anyone else could. So, thank you for the explanation. No problem. So getting to the part where I think is only going to be fair. So let me make this very clear. If you were on a team for whatever reason, competitive team, whatever, throw that out the window. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this a la draft style. And the reason I think is going to be very interesting, we probably only have, this is my confidence, if we do this, we'll probably only have maybe at max, I don't know, let's say 8 people. For those that are highly, highly interested, we'll have max 8 people. So, in order to really even out the chances to see who you're going to be paired up with, okay? So, it'll be a randomizer in that sense. You don't get to choose who your partner is. The draft. Luckily, I have this saved from when we made the move, and I think it's actually going to be a good idea as to how we're choosing. So that way, there's literally there's no issues with the whole trusting thing. It's going to be complete random, and you are who you're paired up with for the experiment for the duration of whatever it is that we decide to do this.
Zero.
Yes.
When I was talking about a draft, I meant weapon draft.
What do you mean?
Think of Dota 2. The two teams pick and ban each other. Ban the entire game from having a particular hero, and they will pick their heroes.
Oh,
in phases.
Okay.
Recently, again, on Unite did the exact same thing, where they have a draft where each team can pick a Pokemon to ban the other team from using. For example, say one player on the enemy team really strong with Scizor. You can pick that Pokemon so that the other team cannot use it, and they have to use something else. But they can also do the same to you in return.
Ooh, that's actually pretty good too.
So, for example, if you were good with a Pokemon that deals a lot of healing support, like Blissey or Clefable, they can pick that Pokemon and no one on your team can use it either.
Very interesting, very interesting. So I'm running out of sheets here, so Oh, hold on. Get this
Damn,
out
a
of
lot
the
of notes to go over back in the lab, huh?
Absolutely. Okay. So another reason why I said the draft, because we can totally keep that idea. We have another one spinning. Make a Google Doc. I really got to do this. I know for a fact. So there's a game that I kept that me and my family played just for shits and giggles. All right, set it, whatever. It's bingo, right? But
Bingo.
yeah, bingo. But if you see where I'm going with this, bingo has these numbers on these balls, and you spin it, obviously, and you get a random number that pops up to put on the bingo board. My suggestion of
Right.
it was we get, whoever signs up, cool. We spin the ball, or we even give you a random number depending on whoever's lived. And then we put that many people inside the cage, spin it, and then we go down the road. So let's say your number's 15, right? And the next number comes up is, I don't know, let's say 13. You 15 and 13 are now a pair. Or 15, 13, and the next number after that is going to be 1. You guys are now a trio for that team. You won't know until the moment it happens that that's who your teammate is going to be. That, I think, is another fun way to kind of make it fair, just so people aren't like, oh, well, I got my buddy, and, it's like, no, we ain't doing that. That's not how this is working. It's the only way we can keep it somewhat legitimately fair from having teams being overpowered. And I'll say this, that's the only way to really keep it random. So if a team gets picked via random and they just so happen to be, a strong team, then it is what it is. Because there might be a team, they might be just strong enough to beat the team that they have in front of them, but when they get to the next team, they might fall short to that team. It all depends on how random and how implemented things like this is what I'm saying. Like, it's gonna be refreshing. There's no guaranteed set or strategy to win. You might be the best katana player. You might be the best iron noise player. You might be the best whatever weapon user there is for Ninjala. But you can't do all the work alone. And same thing goes for the other team. If the other team can, form a strong bond and kick your butt, then, then we know where some people stand. Some people, you can already tell, are going to be the anchor, and some people are going to be the starting point of the team. Find a way to make things work together, and then that's how you prevail as a team in a different sense. Not, okay, everyone use Iron Noise because it's the top meta of the game. No, we are not doing that. That's the only way I see how we keep things fresh, lively, and it keeps you on your toes, so you won't know the outcome of it until you get down to the fight. It's as simple as that. I think, have we overstepped something? Have we overlooked something? Am I missing anything?
Nothing that comes to mind.
I think we finally hit all the points that we needed to hit. I think we finally hit all the points that we needed to hit. Let's see. In terms of who'd be interested in this, again, I guess at this point, it should be open up to the public. If you want to throw in an idea around Twitter, see if people bite on it, see if people are just like, oh, what are you guys talking about or whatever, by all means, go for it.
The best way to prepare that would be to have a discussion, off stream in the mod chat, so that if we do want to throw the suggestion out there onto, Twitter land, we'll at least know what we're talking about before we type even so much as a single letter.
Gotcha. Let's see. I don't know if people would like the draft idea. Again, it's just
Probably not.
There's different ideas. We don't know how it's going to go.
Probably not the player draft, but the weapon draft might turn some heads.
Interesting. Hitting the random partner weapon would be nice. Wait, what?
Hitting the random partner and weapon would be nice. I think they're meaning not only would the players be randomized, but also their weapons being randomized.
So you want to fuse the two together?
That would be like
We would
an
have to
ultra
probably
version
tweak
of the gambler bracket that happened earlier.
Yeah. We would probably have to run those as. So, you have one where you can let them select their weapon, and then another test of them having a randomized weapon for them.
Oh yeah, no. Again, let's just make this very clear. Like nothing is finalized, set in stone. That's what I'm saying. That a lot of this stuff is going to be an experiment. Like, let's see. Weapon draft is okay as long as it's from a pool they pick, but I don't think the people who usually play these like to have many variables. Well, okay. Again, my argument is sitting along the lines of it's gotten repetitive. It's gotten stale to the point that people are losing interest because of the repetitiveness for Ninjala. Again, you go into Ninjala, it's you and 3 other people doing the same thing, trying to get the max points, this and that, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So the reason why we're literally throwing all these out there is to show that we have ideas. There are many changes to the ideas, but again, we won't know until we get like massive feedback from it. So I get it. Some people might not like the draft idea as a whole, but that isn't to say that the other half of the people are gonna like the idea. You know, when we present that, some people are gonna like it, some people are gonna hate it. All right, we acknowledge that. I acknowledge that, but at the same time, no one can say that, like, you know, no one didn't try to do this. Like, we are running an experiment. That's what all these experiments are for. It is never perfect, but at the same time, I don't see anyone else really trying to do it. So that's why we're literally implementing all these things at once. So there's lots of ideas on the table. And again, I'll say this right now because I have seen it from time to time, and it happens. You might not like it because has it ever been enforced? Have you ever tried it? Until you actually try it, you won't really fully know. That's my hot take on it.
The best way to probably, like, you know, test the draft idea would be to have it as a live test.
Yes.
So that you can get live feedback and reactions.
Mm-hmm.
You say, it's like, I like this idea, but not this part of it. Or they don't like the idea entirely, or they like all of it.
Yeah. I don't know what day everybody would like want to kind of try and test it out or whatever. I guess Friday.
Weekends would probably be best.
Weekends.
That way you can get more people to, like, you know, potentially take part. It's also a matter of not placing it on a weekend where there's a tournament, because you know what others are going to pick instead.
Oh yeah, I know that part. No, that's going to be like the first thing. Like I'm not going to be the kid that's going to cry wolf and be like, well, I made this idea for the community and they all left me to go to a freaking tournament or whatever. No, not that. No, I know exactly, because I'll say this: the ideas that we have now, we have witnessed firsthand how you can have an idea, just don't throw it on days that like Ninjala's doing something big. Okay, just we've seen, like, I'm surprised people still haven't learned the lesson from it when they're trying to do things like that.
There have been a few times where we've had some maybe 1 to 2 months in advance, but then the Play Ninjala Twitter account will do a stream for some sort of occasion on the same day, but they'll do it like a week before our initial planned day.
Ouch.
It's like, that has happened on this channel before.
That's true, yeah.
Where it's like, oh, we're gonna do a stream to celebrate this or that and the. So it's a collab stream.
No, I completely hear you. So then here's this. So then obviously I wouldn't kind of just like say it explicitly out loud in Twitter. I would say keep it within the realm of us over here. I'll say this: what's the best way to contact everyone here that's mildly interested in this experimental idea? The best I can do is I have Discord. You know, you can contact me there if you want. That's the best
way, I think, for most of us. The way for us to get in contact is mostly through Discord, considering you're not on Twitter.
Yeah. That's no. I mean, again, well, but I'm also saying that, like, my services are up there for anyone that's got like other questions or whatever, and obviously just respect the fact that, you know, might be busy and might be doing something else. Obviously, I won't get to you right away, but, you know, I'll do my best to answer any other questions that we have regarding this thing. Because again, look at everything that we talked about today. You could shoot these ideas to everyone, but I'm sure it's going to sound maddening. But over here on our end, we've been doing experiments since we got started as a Twitch channel already. So we're not strangers to this environment where, okay, it's a little shaky. We're here to try it and see where it goes. Obviously, it's not going to ruin your reputation if you're like a top tier ninja god or whatever. You're fine in that sense. This is just so everyone can finally get something, a little sense of being different from the stale thing that is literally Ninjala. Because I mean, look at all these ideas we just shot here together. If you decide to visit Ninjala again, you're gonna be like, maybe, I don't know. You're probably gonna be like, you know what? Maybe we should try one of those ideas. Because again, team deathmatch, or I'm sorry, the team matches in Ninjala is the same thing over and over. If you really think about it, the BR stuff in Ninjala is the same thing. If you really think about it, strikers can only get you, the different variations that you want for so long. One-on-one can only go for so long. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's the same rinse, repeat, same thing over and over, blah, blah, blah. At least here, we are trying to try new things. You know what I mean? BR is worse, L. Yeah, I mean, I think I had a hard time connecting to a BR match the other day. So I'm just like, what the hell happened? Because in the beginning, it was the opposite, at least for me. I would join BR matches because it would be faster. And team matches, if you didn't have one person, the match would never start. And ONF would occur. So at least here, that's why we suggested the idea of 3v3. Because I would say 9 times out of 10, when you're in a team-based match in Ninjala, you will have 7 out of the 8 people at best be ready to go. So imagine if Ninjala introduced a 3v3 system. You take out the 2 people, the matches might be found faster, and everyone could probably work with that or whatever. Seen enough opponent not found. That's what I'm saying. Like, you see what I mean? It's just lobbies full of 8 of the most cringe overturned weapon of that patch. You see? Okay, so Leon, like that's even my reason for having the implemented rule of doing the whole draft system where it has to be different. No one can just come in here and be the best, weapon there is of all time, because you have to worry about all the other factors going into it. You know what I mean? That's the whole reason, like right there, like that's a perfect example, because everyone is feeling it. I know everyone is feeling it. Everyone is feeling the same thing over and over. If you're not using katana, or if you're not using the weapon meta of that season, you are not going to win anything whatsoever. And don't even get me started on tournaments. Like, tournaments, they could literally implement all these rules. All a tournament has to do to really shake up their thing is, okay guys, we're gonna surprise you here. You ready for this? Let's get a tournament going, but the katana or the katana class system is null and void for this tournament. Will that turn some heads? Absolutely. But is it something different? Absolutely. Because tournaments are literally the same thing day in and day out. And people are always crying and complaining. I never get a chance here. I never get a chance there. Okay, Ninjala, really, literally, just throw darts anywhere. Here's a suggestion for you. Make a tournament, ban one weapon, ban a card, done. You can't please everyone. Everyone's either going to be upset, they're going to think it's good, but I'll say this. People that probably might not have had a chance before will probably have a chance here. Maybe, not guaranteed. And rent. That was a lot to dig in. That's because I've literally had it in the back of my head for so long. Like, just make a tournament, ban one weapon, and that's it. Because again, what is like the top well, no, not even the top weapon, like out of every tournament so far that we've seen. It's literally, I'll tell you another one. It's the same consistent people every tournament in, tournament out. Almost, from what I hear anyone. Everyone says the same thing. It's the same top 10 people. You really want to switch it? I'm telling you, you got to throw a monkey wrench into the whole gears of Ninjala, literally ban a weapon, ban a card, boom, done. Is it a good idea? No. But is it something else different than what's going on that they have going on over there? Absolutely. At least it's an idea that's something completely different that the community hasn't seen before. Or make a tournament, I don't know, sure, I'll put my own mouth on this one. Yo-yos only, or make a tournament, katanas only, another tournament later down the line, hammers only. Like, they don't do these things, and I don't understand why. If people want variations, do it. That's like the best suggestion. Again, not the best suggestions, but at least it's a suggestion. Yo-yos only would be nice to see. The Ninja God Invitational that just happened had a major upset in round 1 where a top player was eliminated. I never even got around to seeing that. I was unfortunately busy, but so okay, like, that's what I'm talking about. So if people can expect the outcome, then something has to change completely. I personally, I don't like seeing matches, tournaments where it is so heavily gosh darn one-sided. Like, you can honestly go cook a steak and come back and you literally will be right on your prediction. Like, yeah, that team was going to win it from the beginning because they did this, this, and this. So I say the more surprises that happens in this game, the better. Why? Because everyone is sick and tired of the same thing over and over. And actually, another question. What did everyone use in the Ninja God Invitational? Like, was there like a staple weapon that everyone was using? Or did everyone actually have a good variation this time and no one was, copy and pasting, oh, since everyone's using that, I'll go ahead and use this or whatever. I don't know. I didn't really get a chance to see it. I was busy with other things. Setting up some other conversations with other people, I guess. So I have no idea how it went. Unfortunately. Let's see over here. Notes. Okay, cool. And I think that's all the notes I have covered for tonight. I think we finally attacked everything that we needed to. Anything else that I might have missed? I feel like I might have missed something because I know it's just gonna pop in the back of my brain. Like, oh yeah, you forgot to mention this part. Like, okay. Yeah. So I would say anyone is more than welcome to join. I guess we can. Again, none of this is perfect. We'll hash out all the details as we go along. And for those that came to watch this stream, to watch this podcast, thank you, in all honesty. That's really all that I can say. That, took the time out of your day to come watch us do whatever it is that we do. And couldn't ask for a better stream. So for a podcast edition, that was super awesome. Thanks. Sometime in the Warriors pit, they did do the only one weapon class 1v1 tournament. I did that hammer on. Oh, yeah? Care to elaborate on that, Sinbad?
Yep. It was... Well, I would say I did die in the first round, though it was me versus Ochi, which we were pretty much equal, and it was a tough fight. It was a tough fight. But they did try it out. It did go on for a bit. The katanas, the hammers, the yo-yos, and all that stuff, and it would just get competitive. But if you try it with different other people that are just used to the meta weapon, they wouldn't know what to do now.
That's true.
Because back then, they would just go with their favorite weapon that they're good with.
Yeah. So the other thing is, too, I don't know if there is a single Ninjala player out there that has won every possible tournament with every possible weapon. I don't know if there is one right there. Like, you have your god tier user of the yo-yo. You have your god tier user of the skateboard, the motor yo-yo, or whatever. But again, with some repeats that I see, like if it's the same thing over and over, there's no variation. So that's what I like to see the variation of, for the most part. So yeah, I think that's it. From there, we'll just be shooting ideas. And then again, for those that came out to tonight's stream, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. I know it's super late now, so I'm going to let everyone go. Everyone's not held hostage anymore. Grigito, Rachel, and Sinbad, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it, guys. And yeah, we'll be in discussions and all that other junk, alrighty? To everyone here in the chat, thank you so much for this Ninjala podcast. Be on the lookout maybe for a YouTube rerun of this or whatever, just so we get other people in on board of this. So that's it. We're going to sign off. It's super late, and we'll be back with more news on this if you're interested. Once again, join the Discord if you can. I really would appreciate it. And that, because again, that's like the only way to really contact me if you need or whatever. Alrighty, so that's it. I'm signing off on this one, guys. Thank you so much. We got all these notes we got to look into. Ugh, that's a lot. So I'll see you guys in the next stream. Alrighty, peace out.